I'd just like to run through some of the rules for manipulating equations, or we could say simplifying equations. So these are all quite simple, the ones on this slide, and I think it goes without saying, but let's say it anyway. So the first thing I'd like to point out is that you can add 0 to any number without changing its value. So, 5 plus 0 is still equal to 5. So that's true if we're dealing with, fancy variables and equations as well. Secondly, similarly, you can multiply any number by 1 without changing its value. Number 3, you can swap the two sides of an equation over. So what do I mean by that? So let's imagine we have 2x plus 3 being equal to 5, and that's equivalent to 5 equals to 2x plus 3. So you can, seeing as these things are equivalent, it doesn't matter what order we write them in. Now, slightly less obvious perhaps, you can replace any expression, so any part of your equation, with another equal expression. So let me show you what I mean with an example. So for example, if let's say that we know that 2x is equal to 5y plus 4, then it follows that so here's our first thing. Then if we have 2x plus 3 is equal to 5, and that's equivalent to saying 5y plus 4. So we're replacing the 2x with 5y plus 4 plus 3 is equal to 5. So we've replaced this expression by another one of this that we know has the same value, and that can be useful sometimes. And here are some more rules for simplifying equations. So the fifth one is that you can add or subtract the same thing to both sides of an equation, and the two sides should still be equivalent. And the sixth is that you can multiply or divide by the same on both sides. And these are probably the main ones that you're going to be using to solve your equations. So for example, if we've got 2x plus 5 equals 3, then we can add the same thing to both sides. So if we've got 2x plus 5 plus 73 is equal to 3 plus 73. And let's prove that to ourselves just with a value with numbers without any variables in it. So how about if we've got 14 plus 2 is equal to 16, and if we say 14 plus 2, 14 plus 2 minus 5 is equal to 16 minus 5. So let's add all those up. So that's 16 minus 5, so that would be 11. It's equal to 16 minus 5, 11. And that would be true for any number we wanted. Right, multiply or divide by the same thing on both sides, so same deal. So how about, yeah, this same one again, 2x plus 5 equals 3. So 2x plus 5, we need to put brackets. So the whole thing, the whole side of the equation is being multiplied by the number, times 2 is equal to 3 times 2, for example. And again, let's have our example with constant numbers. So 14 plus 2, so the whole thing, yeah, so that's equal to 16. So we can multiply the whole thing by, let's say, by 2, and this by 2, so that gives us, so first of all we have to deal with whatever's inside the brackets, so that gives us, 16 times 2 is equal to 16 times 2, which is 32, equals 32. And same thing with division, we could say 14 plus 2 all divided by 2. So I've made that kind of into a fraction, but I could have done a division sign like that. So these two ways of writing the division are equivalent. So in both cases that would end up as 8 is equal to 8. And you'll see why that's going to be useful in a minute.